Welcome to 843 TV. I'm your host, Kathryn Mademann, and on today's show, we're going to be talking to Teri Lewis, who's the Deputy Director of Community Development, and we're going to talk about the permitting process here on Hilton Head Island. And we also have Dr. Cox, who is the Executive Director for the VIM program here on the island, and we're going to talk about the program here and also the vaccinations and how you can get vaccinated as well. So stay with me, and we'll be right back with 843 TV.
WHHI-TV, where the Lowcountry comes to speak.
WHHI-TV TV,
where communities come to speak. And welcome to 843 TV. I am with Teri Clark. It's very nice to meet you. She is the Deputy Director of Community Development here on Hilton Head Island. And you just know a lot of things about what's going on, especially with new businesses and people wanting to move to the island. You know, one of the hot topics we're going to talk about is permitting. If it's a residential house, if it's for a business. Tell me about that. How are we doing with that? Because I know we've had a lot of growth on our island in the last couple of years.
We have, and what you might have thought was that maybe things would slow down a little bit during the pandemic, and they really haven't. Our numbers we've been tracking them, and they've been as high or higher. Even in this first quarter of 2021, it looks like they're going to be higher than previous years. So both new single-family homes, we've had a lot of people coming in from other communities and buying homes and looking to renovate, so that's happening as well. People putting in pools. And then also just new commercial businesses. So we're starting to see some restaurants, some multifamily developments, things like that that are really, that require permits, require permit review. And so we had seen a little bit of a slowdown in our ability to quickly enter permits, to issue them, to do the review associated with them. So we've been working with our new town manager to develop an action plan and then a way to get better at that and to really help our customers and get that review done quicker.
All right, there's a lot of things to share with me, so let's pull that apart. Because number
Sure.
one, let's talk about permitting. Like, well, let's do the residential permitting. What does somebody need to do? If you're going to do something to your house, what do you need a permit for? Let's put it that way.
So if you're going to do a renovation to your house, so you're going to pull out the bathrooms, pull out the kitchen cabinets, and redo all of those, upgrade those, maybe also put in a pool while you're at it. You're going to pull a building permit, and that's going to require a plan review by our plans examiners, and then we're going to go ahead and get that issued for you. And so we try to get that review done within 10 days, but we were really just due to the volume, it was taking longer, and our customers, of course, were unhappy. Both the homeowners that were, excited to get these changes done, and then our contractors who were anxious to work on them. So that's why we've been looking for ways that we can improve that turnaround time and make everybody happier.
So that's been a sense of frustration.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so we were working on it.
We were. We have contracted with some additional plans examiners to provide those services temporarily. We've got a couple of part-time staff members, and they've agreed to work some extra hours. Then we've also trained some additional staff in other divisions to help with some minor permit entry and issuance, and all of that has made a big difference. I mean, our numbers are definitely getting closer to where we want them to be, and I think that our customers are going to start noticing that change as well.
Yeah, it sounds like we're having growing pains.
Yes. Yes.
Well, it's nice to know that you're working on it. They're trying to put the program together. I mean, it's just from being so quiet with COVID, and all of a sudden you have a surge and trying to, manpower, women power, how to put everybody in place. So I guess patience, right?
Yes.
But it's working. So let's talk about businesses. Can you tell us a little bit about who and who's coming into town? What are they looking like?
So we're seeing a lot of different types of businesses. So definitely some medical offices looking to locate at different parts of the island. We're also seeing some interest in restaurants around different parts, mid-island, north end of the island, and even some renovations at the south end. We're starting to see some of that. So there's a Starbucks that's looking to go onto Pope Avenue, some other restaurants that maybe are, the existing restaurant has left and a new restaurant's looking to go into that space.
Well, sounds like, I mean, we're an island. It's interesting how much space do we have and how much more growth we can have. And I don't know, are we almost there, or do we have a lot more space and property available for businesses to come here?
Well, I don't know that we have so much space. We definitely have vacant properties, but what we see a lot now and what we really like to see in the planning side of things is renovation of existing sites, whether you're taking the existing building and renovating it into what you want to be, or you're tearing it down and starting from scratch, but doing that versus starting with a brand new green site. And we're seeing a fair amount of that, especially at the south end where that was, a lot of those buildings were developed in the 60s and 70s, and they're kind of ready to be rehabbed.
Taken down, maybe, A lot of them have been vacant for a while.
Absolutely.
And I love the thought of it being, rehab, or, I love the thought that we're not taking more space, but we can fix what we have, because there are sort of empty buildings here that I think are in great locations, but they're sort of like this white elephant,
Right. We used to need, and probably in every community, they needed a lot of office space, and that isn't needed as much anymore with people working differently, people being able to run offices from their homes. We don't need that tremendous amount of office space. So to be able to see that the changes we've made with our zoning ordinance will allow people to do different uses other than just offices in those spaces has been really good.
Oh, that's important to know, too. So some of the zoning ordinances are also being changed a little bit. Are they shifting?
Sure. They were, back in 2014, we rewrote our land management ordinance. And with that, we created some flexibility in our different zoning districts, and so increased kind of what people could do with those, with those office buildings, so that they wouldn't just sit vacant.
Oh, I like that idea very much. That's great. It's exciting times on Hilton Head Island. Although we are getting a lot of traffic lately, but
yes.
What else can you tell us? What's new? I know. Mark Orlando is our new general manager of the island for us, and so there's a new vision or just an additional growth of what we're thinking of? What's going on?
Right. So Mark Orlando is our new town manager, and he started in February, and he's come in and is kind of just, I think, getting to know the island a little bit better, getting to know all of the staff people, council, and kind of getting a feel for what's expected. And so it was his idea to do this action plan to really get us to improve our permitting times. And I think there are lots of ways that he's looking at making improvements so that we're serving our customers, the Hilton Head Island residents, in the best way that we can.
Well, I love that. I know that's one thing about our island. I think, when we find a cog or if there's a problem, I think they really earnestly try to figure out how to fix it.
Yes.
And I think that's the nice thing about it, is the fluidity, what we try to do. So what else can we talk about? Homes, we said we know what we need for permitting, and we have restaurants and any other businesses coming in. You talk about medical buildings. I'm just trying to think, what else could be coming onto the island?
I think just anything. We're open to do businesses. I'm hoping with our workforce housing ordinance that we've adopted a couple of different parts of. Back in November, we adopted the commercial conversion part. So that allows somebody to take an existing, maybe an office building, and convert that to workforce housing if they'd like. And then more recently, in February, we adopted a bonus density part for certain areas of the island where if they do workforce housing, they get a bonus density. So I think that we're going to start to see some development of workforce housing as well.
Yeah, and that's terrific. That you're absolutely right. That was a hot topic about a year ago, and then it's coming back. And I like that idea, because we do need to have workforce housing here on the island. And I'm just delighted to see that. Everything else, it sounds like you're working hard at the office, and the permitting is going along, and patience is really important. But you sounds like you're really working at it. Is the window 10 days, or is it less than? How is that working for the permitting? If somebody wants to get a permit, they submit it. What's the turnaround for them?
So right now, our permit entry has gotten a lot quicker. It was taking us about 2 weeks to just even enter a permit into our system, and we've gotten that down to less than a week now. And some permits can even be issued same day if they're the smaller permits. And then our larger permits, we've gotten to where we're back to that 10-day review period. Sometimes a little bit quicker. So we feel good that some of these steps we've taken through our action plan are really making a difference, and we're seeing those changes.
Well, Teri, thank you so much for joining me. Great information. I mean, if you're rehabbing a house or want to bring a business in, talk to the town office. Teri can help you, and I want to thank you so much.
No, thank you very much for having me.
And we will be right back with more 843 TV.